Hey everybody, it's Paul Yokobitis from Cary Estate Planning, back with another video as part of our Upside video series showcasing the good that's happening around the world, even during these negative times in the COVID epidemic that we're in right now. Today I want to talk about sort of forecasting what the United States' future could look like through countries like Germany. That seems to be pretty far ahead of where we're at. And one thing that they're doing is they're going to be rolling out a certification program for people who are actually certified, have already had the coronavirus and have recovered from it and have developed the antibodies to resist any future infection, and then certifying people who are not infected. So through widespread testing, being able to actually re-enter society and re-enter the economy as people who are certified, either recovered or not infected. And so that, I think, is probably where the United States is going as sort of part two of our recovery from COVID-19. And so we can look at countries like Germany to see what they're doing and whether it's working or not. And certainly, countries like China, who are months ahead of us as far as the progression of the disease there, how they're sort of reincorporating people back into society and the economy. And another piece of that is going to be likely widespread use of masks like N95s and surgical masks. The issue that we're having here is that masks are not widely accessible, especially for the general public. So countries that are already issuing those guidance have obviously increased manufacturing of surgical masks and N95 masks. And so we're seeing that with companies like MyPillow and Hanes and Fruit of the Loom and other textile manufacturing companies. They're switching to large-scale production of surgical masks and N95 masks. And so as we move forward in our recovery from coronavirus and what that looks like for our economy and inclusion in society, we can look at countries like China and Germany and see what they're doing and see whether it's working or not. And it seems to be the case that it is working. So I would look forward to that in the United States moving forward once the immediacy or the urgency of recovery is really passing us. Once we get infection under control, I think that's what phase two looks like for us. So, countries that are, well ahead of us or are just sort of taking different paths from us, give us some hope and some upside for our current recovery. This is Paul with Cary Estate Planning, another episode of The Upside.